I'm Bambi Francisco with this segment of Lessons for Entrepreneurs, and I'm speaking with Andy Klein. He is the founder of Spotzer, Wit Capital. I can go on, but I think the list is pretty long. So, Andy, thank you for joining me.
Good to be here.
You have had a lot of experience as an entrepreneur. First with Spring Street Brewing Company, which is when we first met. So in the 15 years, I'm sure you've learned a lot. What's your advice to entrepreneurs?
Well, I think I'd start with the best advice that I ever got, and that was from a guy named Ron Redmond, who is an old Korean War veteran who came in to be the CEO of Wit Capital just before we went public. And at the time, Wit Capital was me and about 45 people running around trying to take advantage of the internet opportunity. And Ron said to me, he called me into his office one day and he said, "Andy, you can probably do anything, but you can't, goddammit, do everything." and that really stuck with me. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and I was certainly very guilty of this in my first two companies, felt the need to do everything. We didn't want to do everything, but we somehow every day came up with a reason why it just wasn't good enough if we didn't do it. And what Ron really forced me to do, and I think I've done much better subsequently, is focus as an entrepreneur on building a team of people who can do stuff.
Right.
And largely then get out of the way and let them do it. And building a team makes all the difference. The money comes, success comes, customers come, sales come, but if you try to do it all yourself, you get a lot done, but you don't get it all done, and it becomes very, very, very difficult.
Okay, that's your number one lesson. Any other lessons, or maybe a failure or setback?
Well, you know, I think the other lesson that was hard to learn was that having companies founded on a lot of vision, and I've tended to sort of take ambitious stabs at big opportunities. It can be a great advantage, and it can also put you at great risk of being just a little bit too early almost all the time. And what I've tried to do better, and what I suggest people need to do well before it's too late, is try to have big visions and big ambitions, but focus on real milestones and figure out what you need to do next month and the month after and the month after that are really going to begin to grow revenues and reduce burn rates and show real progress. And you could be absolutely right about the end vision, but if you don't live long enough, you'll never claim victory. And so balancing some great vision with some real milestones and reality about how slow things might move sometimes is another good piece of advice, I think.
So finding a team and trusting them and getting out of the way, focusing on milestones, having that big vision, but focusing on those milestones. Anything else? One more?
Well, I guess the last piece would be don't forget the money. Most companies aren't good enough or lucky enough to bootstrap themselves to become significant without getting some capital. And getting capital takes a lot of hard work. And I don't care how well known you are or what your track record's been, and certainly if it's your first go at it, I think a lot of entrepreneurs badly underestimate how hard it is to get money. And I think it's something I've done well in my career, but it's something I've worked very, very hard at. I think, you know, if I look back over 10 years, probably 30–40% of my time has been sucked up by successive, you know, requirements to get capital, and a lot of people miss that. They think it's going to happen by itself. I can't tell you how many companies I've seen hit the wall because they got things moving. They knew they needed a little bit more money, but maybe it was going to be next year, and before they knew it, they have 4 months to go, and they don't have any more money. And when you need it, and you've got 4 months to go, it doesn't usually work too well. And so, you know, focus on a team, make sure there's enough money, and set some milestones.
Okay, great advice, Andy. Thanks very much. I've been speaking with Andy Klein. I'm Bambi Francisco.